Yo, what is up, guys? It is Nick, or the Notorious Fantasy, back in today with another fantasy football video. In today's video, I'm going over the Week 9 wide receiver ranking as I go through wide receiver 1 all the way through 32 and give you an idea of why I have them ranked, where they are ranked. Now, before I get in the video, I'd like to give you guys a word from my sponsor, OverlayDFS.com. OverlayDFS.com is the brand new start sit format and my favorite way to play daily fantasy football. Now, they have gotten rid of their what it was the single entry GPP. You can only enter one time into these contests. Now you can enter up to 10 times to obviously boost your odds to win. Now, you might be wondering, why is this going to be worth it for me? Because this is a progressive bonus type of deal. And what the progressive bonus means is every single week, when no one hits the 12-0 record, it keeps adding more and more money. In this $22 one, it is, if you go 12-0, you get the beautiful stars to align. You get $6,740. Obviously, if you go up to the higher paid ones, the progressive bonus is over $27,000. If you're in the top 10% of the entries, you get 9 times the buy-in. So that's just amazing right there, and it's pretty easy to do. You got to make 12 picks plus 3 alternate picks, and I'll show you pretty much how you make these picks. Do you think Aaron Rodgers, for example, will do better than Russell Wilson? Aaron Rodgers playing the LA Chargers, Russell Wilson playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All you got to do is select one of those players, and then you do that 11 more times. There are so many matchups on the screen that you can even do any of these as long as you do 12 of them plus the 3 alternate picks, and then like I said, if you hit that beautiful 12-0, you get that amazing progressive bonus. So make sure you guys check out overlaydfs.com. Link down below in the description is a great time. Come join me. We're going to have some fun this week on Overlay DFS. And we are back. Make sure to check out overlaydfs.com. Link down below in the description. Let's get right into this video. Week 9 wideout rankings. Now here, this page is 1 through 12. This is based more on PPR, obviously. If you are in a standard league, obviously you can ask any questions down below. This is fully based on full PPR. So my number one wideout this week is DeAndre Hopkins going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars in London. Now I know DeAndre Hopkins was not performing all that well. Week 1, he obviously had a huge game, and then from weeks 2 till around week 6, he really didn't do shit. But the last couple of weeks, he has been performing pretty well. And this week against Jacksonville without Will Fuller likely, I love DeAndre Hopkins this week, and he's my number 1 ranked wideout this week. Next wide receiver here is Chris Godwin at the number 2 spot, going up against the Seattle Seahawks. Now, Chris Godwin has some games where he plays amazing and others where he plays okay. But what I noticed is after Mike Evans has his one big game, Chris Godwin skyrockets himself straight to the fucking moon and is scoring 9,000 points in this game against the Seattle Seahawks. A game that I think may be a higher scoring type of affair because while I do like the Seattle defense, I think that Jameis just lucks himself into throwing the ball for 350 yards in this game. And I think Chris Godwin may put up another 30-plus point game. So I love him this week against Seattle. Now, on the other side of the ball at number 3, we have Tyler Lockett going up against that same Tampa Bay defense. Now, the Tampa Bay defense obviously nowhere near as good as Seattle's against the pass. I think that Tyler Lockett will be in for a pretty big matchup this week. Russell Wilson loves slinging the ball, and his number 1 target on the field is always Tyler Lockett. So I think that Tyler Lockett will be in for a pretty good game this week against the Buccaneers. Knock one time if you're with me. At number 4, we have Mr. Amari Cooper. Now, I know that this channel hates Amari Cooper. I hate Amari Cooper, but what I know is when I see a good matchup, I just can't get away from it. He is a top 5 guy this week. He has potential to be the number 1 guy this week. The New York Football Giants in prime time, they are going to struggle in this game. Even in New York, there's going to be no fans there. It's going to be all Cowboys, and Amari Cooper is going to absolutely skull fuck the Giants. He's going to be running far faster than the Giants. The Giants defense just can't stop anyone, and they're not going to be able to stop a top wide receiver in the league in Amari Cooper. At number 5, we have Mr. Kenny Golladay going up against the Oakland Raiders in Oakland. Now, Kenny Golladay last week had an absolutely explosive matchup. He just ripped everything. He was playing fucking amazing. But, every couple of weeks, Kenny Golladay has that game where he rips a shit in his Huggies and plays terrible. But this game against the Oakland Raiders, I think that Kenny Golladay will be able to perform very well. The Oakland Raiders defense is not all that great. I think this is in for a higher scoring matchup. I think Derek Carr is going to throw a touchdown. And then Stafford, back and forth. Fucking gunsling central, obviously. Fucking Derek Carr is not much of a gunslinger, but I think Kenny Golladay will be in for a huge matchup this week in Oakland. At number 6, we have Mr. Mike Evans going up against the Seattle Seahawks. And like I said, with Chris Godwin, I think this will be potentially a high-scoring matchup, or a matchup where Mr. Jameis Winston throws a lot of yards. And obviously, Mike Evans is the number 1 wide receiver on the team. I have Chris Godwin ranked higher because it seems like Chris Godwin every single week just scores more fantasy points. But at the end of the day, Mike Evans and Jameis Winston have a love connection. Jameis Winston throws the ball to Mike Evans all the time. And if Mike Evans makes or if Jameis throws the ball better in the last couple of games, Mike Evans would have so many more points. But this week against Seattle, you just hope the ball goes his way. And I think it will. And I think that he'll be good against Seattle. That's why he's my number 6 ranked wide receiver. At number 7, we have a fan favorite, DJ Chark, baby Chark, baby Chark, at number 7. Now I know, without DD Westbrook, in my opinion, this game is going to be amazing. This is in London. I said it's going to be high scoring when I was talking about DeAndre Hopkins. I really do believe that this is going to be a high scoring matchup. I believe that DJ Chark is going to get the ball thrown his way a lot, as well as Chris Conley, especially with DD Westbrook out. I think that this is going to be a higher scoring matchup. Obviously, the game is in London, but I do think DJ Chark is going to be able to get the ball thrown his way a lot. Gardner Minshew clearly loves throwing it to him. He is his number 1 favorite target on the team, so I like DJ Chark this week against. At number 8, I have Tyreek the Freak Hill going up against the Minnesota Vikings. Now, I know the Minnesota Vikings defense is good, but you all know who's really good? Fucking Tyreek Hill. Now, I know. It's likely not going to be Patrick Mahomes. So, Nick, why do you have him top 10 without Patrick Mahomes? We've seen the last 2 weeks, without Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill can still perform. He is a speedster. He is fast as fuck, and he will be able to get open down the field. No matter who is throwing the ball, they can throw the ball to him. Matt Moore is an okay quarterback. And I think Tyreek Hill will be in for a huge game this week, so I am still confident in him with Matt Moore. At number 9, we have Stephon Diggs on the other side of the ball up against the Kansas City Chiefs. Obviously, Tyreek Hill on the Chiefs, Stephon Diggs on the Vikings. Now, Stephon Diggs had a humongous matchup a few weeks ago, and last week against the Redskins, he played pretty well as well. But I think this game against the Kansas City Chiefs, against a defense that really is not all that great. Obviously, I know some people talk about, oh, the Kansas City defense played pretty good last week against Aaron Rodgers, you fucking idiot. But, they'll say those things. But Kirk Cousins is going to have to win this game. He wants to take that team to the playoffs. He wants to prove that he is not a fucking trash can. And Stephon Diggs is his favorite target, especially if Adam Thielen is hampered by his injury. In my opinion, I believe he will play. That's why he's ranked in the top 12. But obviously, since he's dealing with that injury, I still think Stephon Diggs will be a huge threat in this game. At number 10, we have Julian Edelman of the New England Deflatriots going against the Baltimore Ravens. Now, without Josh Gordon, I know they have Mohamed Sanu, they have Philip Dorsett, they have a bunch of other random fucking names that he found in the 9th round of the draft or just randomly picked up. But Julian Edelman is Tom Brady's favorite target. Now, I know. He hasn't been playing that amazing. The last couple of weeks, he's been playing pretty good, but he slices in those games where he goes from 25 points in PPR, and then there's games where he scores you 4 fucking points and you're pissed off at him. But this game, against the Ravens, I think they may have to pass the ball a bit more, and I like Julian Edelman in this game. I believe this game actually can be high scoring because while the Patriots defense has looked amazing all season, they really haven't played anyone. I still think their defense is amazing, but the offenses they've been playing against have been awful. The Baltimore Ravens are a top 5 offense in the league. At the end of the day, I think that Julian Edelman will be able to get it done this week. At number 11, we have Mr. Odell Beckham Jr. going up against the Denver Broncos. And if there was one week that Odell Beckham Jr. is going to turn it around, it would be this week against the Broncos. Now, the Browns have looked so bad through the air the last couple of weeks. I know a few weeks ago, Jarvis Landry had a good game, and like week 2 against the Jets, Odell had a good game. But besides that, the Browns' passing game has been atrocious. Baker Mayfield has not been feeling dangerous. He wouldn't even be feeling dangerous if he was in a JV high school football game. He's playing that fucking bad. But right now, this week, against the Denver Broncos, a defense that a lot of people overrate, they think, oh, it's the Broncos from when Peyton Manning was on the team and Von Miller's there and he's fucking amazing and all that shit. No. The Denver defense is not that good. Their quarterback, it's some Allen guy. Who the fuck is that guy? Drew Lock, maybe. Who knows who it is? But I think Odell Beckham is going to have a huge game this week, and I would count on them being a top 12 wide receiver this week, and they're going to trade him once he does fucking good for once. Ship him straight off of your team. At number 12, we have Mr. Adam Thielen going up against the Kansas City Chiefs. And like I said, he is dealing with that injury, but I think he's going to get that go-ahead game. He obviously sat last week against the Redskins. I think he's going to play against Kansas City, and this is a high-scoring matchup back and forth. They're going to go back and forth. Kirk Cousins is going to say, "You like that?" and throw a touchdown to Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen is clearly his favorite target in the red zone. He loves throwing the ball to Mr. Adam Thielen, and that's why I got Adam Thielen as a top 12 wide receiver in his return. Now we're on to 13 through 24. So if you guys have enjoyed the video thus far, please make sure to click that subscribe button down below. At number 13, we have Keenan Allen, who has really disappointed thus far a lot this season. The whole Chargers offense has really been disappointing, but this week against the Green Bay Packers, he needs to have a bounce back game. Phillip Rivers and all 17 of his fucking kids are going to need to lead them to victory this week. Obviously, Phillip Rivers loves throwing the ball to Keenan Allen. Their offensive coordinator got his ass fired, so maybe, just maybe, Keenan Allen will be able to play good this week against the Green Bay Packers. At number 14, we have Mr. JB, John Brown of the Buffalo Bills going up against the Washington Redskins. And John Brown is going to give a good old skull fucking to Washington Redskins defense and Josh Norman. John Brown is going to go balls deep in the Redskins defense this week. I love John Brown. He's the number 14 wide receiver in my rankings this week. At number 15, we have Mr. T.Y. Thank you, Hilton, going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, the Pittsburgh Steelers defense did not look all that hot last week against my Miami Dolphins. This week, they go up against Jacoby B, T.Y. Hilton, and Marlon Mack. I honestly believe that T.Y. Hilton is going to have a huge game this week. Jacoby B has been throwing the ball a lot more. Frank Reich, they've been calling a lot more pass plays now with T.Y. Hilton back. And I think this week will be no exception. I think T.Y. Hilton has a pretty big game. At number 16, we have Mr. Mikey G, Michael Gallup, going up against the New York Football Jets. And for the same reason why I like Amari Cooper, I like Michael Gallup. Michael Gallup, obviously the wide receiver 2 on the team, so that hurts his upside. But he's playing up against the Giants defense, who is fucking terrible. I love Michael Gallup this week, my number 16 wide receiver. At number 17, we have Mr. A-Rob, Allen Robinson, going up against the Philadelphia Eagles. And I know, you might be thinking, Nick, you fucking hate Allen Robinson. I know you hate Allen Robinson, you fuck. And I do hate Allen Robinson. I hate him with a burning passion. But you know what I don't hate in this game? I just don't hate the fact that I just think he's going to do good. I don't like Mitch Trubisky. I don't like Allen Robinson, but I can recognize talent. I know Mitch Trubisky will throw the ball enough times to Allen Robinson to warrant him being a wide receiver 2 in this game. At number 18, we have Mr. MJ, Marvin Jones, going up against the Oakland Raiders. And I said this was going to be a high-scoring matchup. I said I believe Kenny Golladay will have a huge game. But what I've noticed is with my type of fucking formula, there's no fucking formula. I'm just looking at the games, and I have sensed something. One game, it's Kenny Golladay. The next game, it's fucking Marvin Jones, and that's Kenny Golladay, and that's Marvin Jones, Kenny Golladay, Marvin Jones. And last week was the Kenny Golladay game. It turns out that this week is the next week, which could mean that we are in for a huge Marvin Jones game against the Oakland Raiders. Let's go, Marvin Jones. At number 19, we have Mr. Juju Smith-Schuster going up against the Indianapolis Colts. And I know last week we saw Mr. Juju Smith-Schuster doing the fucking floss, playing fucking well, but they were against the Dolphins. This week, they play the big boy Indianapolis Colts, and Juju has not been performing this season. He has shit in his pants. He has needed the Huggies week 1 through week 8. He really has not done anything. And this week, I have him ranked at 19 because you know the talent. But if I'm being completely honest with you, I'm sitting Juju in a lot of situations. He's ranked 19 because you know the talent. You know if Mason Rudolph magically throws the ball to him 7 times, he could have 170 yards and a touchdown, entirely possible, or multiple touchdowns. But with the way the Steelers have been playing, I don't necessarily love them. At number 20, we have Mr. Golden Tate going up against the Dallas Cowboys. And I think this is going to be a Sterling Shepard-less New York Football Giants. I think Golden Tate is going to get a lot of work in this game. We saw 2 weeks ago Golden Tate go balls deep on Stephon Gilmore. He told Stephon Gilmore to hold his jockstrap against the Patriots. I think this week against a Dallas Cowboys defense, Golden Tate could be a potential amazing wide receiver 2 this week. At number 21, we have Mr. Scary Terry McLaurin going up against the Buffalo Bills. And you guys know that I love me some Scary Terry. But this week, Dwayne Hashcans, the trash can, is the quarterback of not the 49ers, of the Redskins. And he's just so bad. They played in college together. So I don't understand how he can't throw the fucking ball to him. We saw on Thursday night, that game last week, fucking Dwayne Haskins had Terry McLaurin wide open. He throws the fucking ball. Terry McLaurin has to jump 30 feet up in the air like he's Michael Jordan in fucking Space Jam to catch the ball. Like, what the hell, Dwayne Haskins? Terry McLaurin and Dwayne Haskins should have a good connection, so I think it'll develop more closer towards the end of the season, obviously, as the weeks progress. But right now, I'm very worried about Scary Terry. He's ranked number 21 because of his skills, and you know he can get it done against any defense. But you have to worry about the fact that Dwayne Haskins, the trash can, is throwing him the ball. At number 22, we have Tyrell Williams going up against the Detroit Lions, and no one loves scoring touchdowns more than Tyrell Williams. Every single game he's active, he's hopping in that fucking end zone. Derek Carr loves slinging him the ball. I like him at 22, but I don't love him all that much because obviously you're relying on that touchdown because who knows if Derek Carr will feed him 5 to 10 times in the game to warrant him being a top 12 guy. Coming in at number 23, we got Robbie Anderson, Robbie A. Now, Sam Darnold is not going to be seeing ghosts in this game. The Miami Dolphins defense is fucking terrible. They're terrible, okay, guys? And I think that Robbie Anderson will be in for a big matchup this week against the Miami Dolphins we saw last year. A heavy connection between Sammy Mono and Robbie A. I think this week that comes back. I think that Robbie Anderson has a good game. At number 24, closing out the wide receiver twos in a 12-team league, is DK Metcalf going up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, I know. A lot of people don't like DK Metcalf. A lot of people don't think that he is the talent to be a wide receiver 2 in fantasy, and I'm just going to tell you that you are flat out wrong. Against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he is going to be able to get wide open. I know he's not that good at running routes, but all he has to do is run fucking straight, and Russell Wilson will heave it to him in the end zone, and he will score against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I like him a lot this week against Tampa Bay. I thought about ranking him higher, but it's a lot harder to rank him above all of these guys because of how great the other guys are ahead of him. Now on to 25 through 32. So like I said, if you guys have enjoyed thus far, make sure to click that subscribe button down below. At number 25, we have Mr. Cortland Sutton going up against the Cleveland Browns. Now, obviously, you're dealing with some fucking trash quarterback, not Joe Flacco. This other Allen guy, he's not that great, I don't think. But Cortland Sutton's still the number 1 wide receiver on a team, so that will easily get you to be a top 32 wide receiver, just being the number 1 wide receiver on a team. So I do like Cortland Sutton a decent amount this week, even against a tough Cleveland Browns defense. At number 26, we have Mr. DJ Moore going up against the Tennessee Titans, and Kyle Allen is getting the start in this game, not Mr. Cam Newton. So I actually kind of like DJ Moore in this game. The Tennessee defense is good, but I think DJ Moore will be able to get it done, being the wide receiver 1 on that team. At number 27, we have Mr. D.A. Devontae Adams going up against the L.A. Superchargers. Now, Devontae Adams is a start for me for sure. He's even potential to be a top 10 guy if he's 100% healthy. He's ranked lower because I'm not even sure if he's going to play, but if he plays, he could be a potential top 15 guy. I am worried, though, that if they let him play, he may only be 70%. I think next week he'd be 100%. So they may end up sitting him. This week I give them about... It's probably like a 70% chance he plays, and I think he'll be like 70% healthy. But if they wait till next week, I think he'll be 100% good to go and 100% healthy. But if he plays this week against the Chargers, I would definitely slot him into my lineup. At number 28, we have Mr. Kenny Stills up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I know Kenny Stills disappointed you last week. I know we all thought Will Fuller was going to be out, and he was. And we all thought that this would be the Kenny Stills amazing game. But psych with that, it was Darren Fells' game. This game, I think Kenny Stills has a bounce-back game, and I've definitely slot him in as my flex. Number 29, we have Mr. AJ Alshon Jeffrey going against the Chicago Bears. And Alshon Jeffrey's been just okay the last couple of weeks. He's not a guy that is a world beater, but he is going to be able to potentially score a touchdown against the Bears. He's clearly Carson Wentz's favorite target. Carson Wentz said, fuck you, Zach Ertz. He doesn't even throw Zach Ertz the ball that much. I think Alshon Jeffrey's in for an okay game this week against a tougher Chicago Bears defense. Number 30, we have Mr. J.C. Jamison Crowder going up against the Miami Dolphins. Now, this is a great matchup for Jameson Crowder, but I am, like I said, I do like Robbie Anderson a lot more. I feel like Robbie Anderson is the down-the-field threat. Obviously, this is our PPR ranking, so Jameson Crowder does get a lot of targets on a team, but I really do think Robbie Anderson will end up with the touchdown, and that's why Jameson Crowder is ranked number 30. At number 31, we have Mr. DP, Devontae Parker, going against the New York Football Jets. And Devontae Parker has been scoring pretty much every single game in the last 4 games, so I like him this week against the Jets, but obviously he's going to be ranked low because he's playing against the Jets. He's on the fucking Dolphins. If he was on a better team, maybe he'd be ranked higher. But the Dolphins look bad, and you're relying on a touchdown. And if he doesn't score this week, you're probably going to end up being disappointed. That's why he's ranked number 31 in my rankings. And at number 32, with Mr. Chris Connolly going up against the Houston Texans in London. I do like Chris Connolly a lot because I expect D.D. Westbrook to be out. Obviously, some of these guys are ranked ahead of him because they just have a lot more upside than him. But I think Chris Connolly should be a safe 10 points this week against the Houston Texans. So thank you guys all for watching this video. If at any point you ended up enjoying, please make sure to click that subscribe button down below. Make sure to check out overlaydfs.com, link down below in the description. Have a great rest of your guys' day. I'll see you guys later with another video. I love each and every single one of you guys. Goodbye.